evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. Today is Tuesday, February 25th, 2020. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, News Channel 5's meteorologist Heather Mathis was in Tullahoma last week for the Rec Department's monthly Lunch and Learn event. We'll bring you video from the Tullahoma Sports Council's Hall of Fame Awards presentation, and we'll hear more from the candidates running for Coffee County General Sessions Judge. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Only 2 remaining 2018 Kia Stingers, up to $10,000 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Welcome back. Meteorologist Heather Mathis from Channel 5 in Nashville was the most recent guest for Tullahoma's Lunch and Learn at D.W. Wilson Community Center. Heather spoke to the gathering about what is involved in being a weather forecaster and what she has to do to keep up with the weather on a daily basis.
There's this saying that news never sleeps, and I absolutely agree with that. We're always on. There's always someone in the Channel 5 building. Our overnight producers come in at 10 p.m. at night. That's when their shift starts, and then they get off by 7, 8 a.m. in the morning. So as the night side crew is leaving, the morning crew is already there. So there's always someone to be there to cover everything. So where the job takes you, you also cannot get out of college and immediately start in Nashville. Nashville is a very big television market. So you have to go to smaller jobs and kind of work your way up the ladder. So there are 210 television markets in the country. Where do you guys think Channel 5 falls? Anybody have a guess? From 1 to 210? It'll help you to tell you that 1 is very high. That's like a big city. And 210 is very small.
25.
So Nashville is actually, she said 20, it's 27. The top one would be LA and New York. They're number 1 and number 2, and it kind of goes down the list. 210 is, I don't even know the city, it's somewhere in Montana. it's a very, very small market, which is fine. I started in market 179. That is what Jackson, Tennessee is, between Nashville and Memphis. I spent a couple of years there, and then after that I did 3 years in Huntsville, Alabama. That's market 79, I think now. So you kind of do a low-level market, a mid-level market, then you can get somewhere like Nashville, which again is home for me, which I was very excited to get back to. But I have met so many people in the news industry that come from everywhere, that come from California, that did move to the middle of nowhere, Montana, for their first job. And that's just a part of the business, is you can't always start where you want to. It's always going to take you everywhere. So telling the weather story, I had someone, when I was back in Mount Juliet, I was getting my nails done actually, and the person doing my nails said, "Who writes your script? Who types that up for you?" And I said, "No one. I don't read from a script. It's all ad-libbed." So we put our graphics together with the temperatures or whatever it is, and we're just talking about what we're talking about. We kind of use that as a prompt to tell us, what we need to do. So everything we say is ad-libbed. There's no script like there are for some of the anchors. So I do have Storm 5 Titan with me. I brought it in the parking lot, as you had heard, and I'm excited to show you guys what it's all about. Titan is new to the station. I've been here now almost 3 years. We got it a little bit after I had started, but it is one of the most advanced weather trucks that's in the Southeast. There are other stations that say they have a weather truck, and they do, but it's mostly just like a camera that they can go around and show what's going on outside. We actually have weather equipment on our truck that pulls in real-time weather data into the truck that can help us forecast what's going on. Because a lot of times, if we are in small areas that maybe don't have as much observation sites with their weather sensors, we can be in those areas and get that real-time observation. Specifically, it has really helped us in forecasting snow and rain. Because you guys know, we can sometimes be right there on the fine line of whether we're getting rain or we're getting snow. That freezing line usually sits right over Middle Tennessee. And as annoying as that can be for us as forecasters, this truck really helps us figure out where that line is and what actually is coming down, where the freezing layer is in the atmosphere.
So that's a radar system?
So it does have its radar inside. We have a sensor, I'll show you when we're outside. It has a weather sensor on the top. It basically pulls in real data from wind speeds to temperatures to dew points to all of those things. But it also has a radar in there on our laptop. So you'll see when you see this passenger seat, we can access our radar within the truck. So there are multiple ways we observe the storm. We can observe it from the radar to see what the radar is telling us. But we also have 360 camera views up top. So if we're close enough to the storm, we can see what that storm is doing from the ground. And then we also have the weather sensor that's pulling in the weather data that we need that the radar isn't telling us, if that makes sense. So that was actually me out at a flood in Christian County. I want to say it was this time last year, around February when everything was flooding, but that was just one event that we were at covering, floodwaters that happen. We've taken it out in snow and flood and tornadoes and severe winds. Henry had it out just a couple of weeks ago in that. So we have tested it in all of those scenarios, and we're still really learning how great of a tool it is while we're forecasting. So I mentioned this and got a little bit on my soapbox earlier about how everything is changing and we have to be able to evolve and change in our industry. One of the ways that the weather is changing is that the technology to tell our weather story is always being updated. That is a look at what we call augmented reality. It used to be that we would just build our weather graphics in kind of like a PowerPoint system. We still do to some sense. It's like a more advanced PowerPoint that we're ingesting data into. This is a way that we build our graphics in 3D. And I've really tried to dig my heels in that and learn a lot about it because it is very cool. So we will be presenting you the weather graphics. That's me up on the corner doing that, pretending to look at something that's not even there.
And we'll hear more from Heather on Thursday's News Leader. After these messages, we'll be right back.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Have you heard the news? Russell Barnett Automotive Family has launched its new website, russellbarnett.com. Very user-friendly. Over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Online credit applications, hometown auto rental, customer testimonials, trade appraisals, certified collision center, service department scheduling. Too many reasons to mention why I keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Welcome back. The Coffee County Young Republicans recently held a candidates forum for those running for Coffee County General Sessions Judge. In this segment, candidates talk about their views on sentencing.
Misdemeanor offenses for which you will have jurisdiction carry a punishment of up to 11 months and 29 days in jail. However, as judge, you will have great discretion in imposing sentences. What do you see as the main basis for punishment that you would use? Deterrence for future actions by the offender or by others, retribution or punishment for the past action that they have committed, or rehabilitation of the offender.
In one sense, that's an easy answer because there is not a correct answer for that. Everything is case by case. Different facts, different situations. There is not a one-size-fits-all approach that deals with this. Some people come in, particularly deal with dependency and neglect, or not, excuse me, I'm sorry, with the younger people, whether they're in on delinquency or we're dealing with 18, 20-year-olds. Some of them need a good swift kick in the butt. Some of them need to be scared. Some of them need to be taken off the streets. There is no one way to look at that. That's part of being a judge, is you have to look at every individual thing that comes before you and evaluate it and deal with it appropriately, not a one-size-fits-all.
Probably the most difficult question that was asked tonight, because there are many, many options. One of the considerations is we built a jail a few years ago. Jail's at maximum capacity most of the time. We have to look at alternatives. It costs $36 a day to house an inmate. You add that up over the year, that's a significant amount of money. If we have programs that keep the community safe, as well as find treatment or deter them from action in the future, I think we need to look into those. I have been a charter member of the Drug Court Board here for 11 years. I serve that in a volunteer capacity. We have an excellent treatment program. We can only do so much with the money that we have. But we have other resources that we need to look into. Ankle monitors. We need to work with our probation officers. They have services as well. We don't need to handcuff ourselves with services that we only have one option. We've got option through everyone that we're working through. It's going to take the buy-in from our public defender, from our district attorney, our probation officers, our drug courts, and our sheriff. And I think we need to come together with a plan. I'd rather spend the money keeping somebody from coming back to jail if there's not a threat of harm to society.
Obviously, I am quite the advocate for the recovery courts since I preside over the Safe Baby Court and the Family Treatment Courts. I think they're extremely important in all aspects, even our civil courts, because you're talking about putting people to in treatment and recovery is such an effect on our economy. It puts people back to work. It puts people, makes accidents decrease. It has such an economic impact on everything. So I think it's a combination of all three of those. Obviously, punishment is important because it provides structure. That's very important, especially with our youth. Structure, deterrence is extremely important early on. Excuse me, but rehabilitation is something we have to make sure that we don't have repeat offenders, and just stick someone in jail and not fix the problem is not going to do that. So I think it's a combination, but when you're talking about the economic impact and the fact that we can take $1 invested in treatment and that reduces the crime-related cost by $7, add health care into that, and it's 12 to 1, increase workplace productivity. It's extremely important. So I would be for rehabilitation as well, because I think it does deter people for future crimes. So thank you.
Being a public defender for most of my career, I'm going to add one that wasn't in there when you talk about recidivism. And a lot of the folks that we deal with here in this county are just, it's over and over and over and over. And so those folks obviously need to be dealt with in a different way than first-time offenders or young people. So I have to second absolutely everything that Mr. Perry said and the other folks said. That really, it's important that we talk about probation and that all of these offices work together. I have an excellent working relationship with General Northcutt, and we can work together to solve some problems if we can see them. I know the probation staff very well. We can all get together and pull our heads together and decide, when we talk about sentencing, really try to figure out what's best in the situation. And I'm going to briefly, because I'm getting a yellow card, give you an example. It's a very, very different thing. I had a client at one point in time that literally had 25 or 30 convictions for shoplifting. And she came in for, guess what, shoplifting. And she was quite upset that the district attorney, the only thing that they would offer her was the maximum penalty that they could give her. And I tried to make her understand that if it were something else, if she had come in with driving on revoked, but at that point in a person's criminal history and in their career as a criminal, there's nothing that you can do except protect the public from them for as long as possible. And I have no problem doing that when necessary. Thank you.
We'll be right back with more News Leader on 6.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. The Tullahoma Sports Council held its second annual Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony Saturday night at D.W. Wilson Community Center. In this segment, Scott Chastain welcomes the crowd and announces the first two of the four inductees for the 2019 Outstanding Achievement Award.
I want to welcome you to the second annual Tullahoma Sports Council Hall of Fame induction ceremony. It's a blessing and an honor to once again be asked to MC this event. Tonight, we are in the presence of both individual and team greatness. The accomplishments on the court, the field, the course, the pool, the range, the trail, and the mat by this year's inductees are many. From this day forward, they will forever be enshrined among the greatest athletes, administrators, and teams in Tullahoma sports history. Let's give them all a hand. Each year, the Sports Council selects two categories of inductees. Those who have made a historical impact as athletes, teams, administrators, umpires, officials, media members, and those who made a dynamic impact in 2019. We begin with our young people who achieved greatness in 2019 and appear headed towards careers making a high impact on their sport. Our Outstanding Achievement inductees are sponsored tonight by L&H Distributing. Our first inductee for Outstanding Achievement in 2019 is Ms. Ashley Scott, archery. Ashley is the daughter of Rhonda and Butch Scott and is a student at East Middle School. Excelling in archery since an early age, Ashley competes in both the NASP and the S3DA programs. Combined, she has won 2 national championships, 3 national title runners-up, 7 state titles, and 3 state runners-up. Ashley is the only student from Tennessee to win a national title since the NASP program started. In 2019, Ashley won the Tennessee State Bullseye Tournament, beating 300 contestants. She won the Tennessee 3D State Tournament, beating 45 contestants. She placed first in overall shooter out of 737 girls. She won the Eastern National Tournament, beating 2,500 contestants. She placed 5th in the World Tournament in Nashville, and she was recently honored by Mayor Curley, as well as being featured in Tennessee Wildlife Magazine. For archery, give it up for Ashley Scott. Our next inductee for Outstanding Achievement in 2019 is Levi Dykes for bicycle road racing. He is the son of Jennifer and Micah Dykes and also attends East Middle School. Levi excels in the sport of bicycle road racing. In 2018, he won the Tennessee State Championship road race. In 2019, he also won the Tennessee State Championship road race. He won the Tennessee State Championship individual time trial and won the Tennessee State Championship criterium. He won the 13 to 18-year-old Sonny King Jr.'s criterium, qualifying him for the National Talent ID Camp. He captured the silver medal at the Amateur Road National Championship race in Hagerstown, Maryland, and the silver medal Amateur Road National Championship individual time trial in Hagerstown, Maryland. For bicycle road racing, Mr. Levi Dykes.
And we'll have more from the Hall of Fame banquet when we come back. More Newsletter on 6th is coming up in a moment.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family has launched its new Owner Advantage program. It starts as simple as your first year's maintenance is included with the purchase. We have 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plans available. Car detailing, car rental, collision repair. Stop by one of our 5 locations and let one of our certified sales staff tell you all about it. The Russell Barnett Automotive Family Advantage Program. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
Welcome back. We continue now with our coverage of the Tullahoma Sports Council Hall of Fame induction ceremony as Scott Chastain welcomes the other inductees.
Our next inductee for Outstanding Achievement in 2019 is Isaac Lee for swimming. Since Isaac was 11, he's been nationally ranked in his age group in the top 15 swimmers in the nation in the 100-meter fly, the 100-meter freestyle, the 200, the 800, and the 1,500-meter freestyle. Now 13 years old, at a recent USA-sanctioned swim meet in Huntsville, he swam record-breaking times in the 1,000-meter freestyle, placing him first among all 13-year-olds in the nation. His times were second in the nation in the 200 fly and the 200 freestyle. Isaac has broken all-time records in the Southeastern Division for his age group in the 800 freestyle and 1,500 freestyle. He's broken sectional records in the 200 fly and 1,000 freestyle. And he was selected to represent Tennessee on the zone teams for 2018 and 2019. Isaac is not able to be here tonight because he is competing in, naturally, a swim meet. So accepting his award is his grandfather, Mr. Jerry Letzinger. Our final inductee for Outstanding Achievement in 2019 is Miss Jane Allen for wrestling. Jane won the first female wrestling state title in the history of Tullahoma High School. She placed in 3 consecutive state meets, finishing 6th in 2017, 3rd in 2018, and then winning the title last year. She was a Tennessee National Team member for 2019, the Tennessean Female Wrestler of the Year nominee, Tennessee All-State Wrestler. She placed 8th at the World Team Trials in Irving, Texas. She placed 8th at the Folk Style Nationals in Virginia Beach. She graduated with a 4.0 GPA from Tullahoma High School, currently wrestles for Life University, and not able to be here tonight. Accepting the award for Jane is her proud grandmother, Jan Chrisman. Congratulations.
And don't forget to tune in to this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Terry Quick for the Highland Wren Habitat for Humanity, who is working on building a new home in Tullahoma this year. Laurel Stone will come by to let us know what's happening with the Imagination Library and Read Access America. And we'll also speak with Tullahoma and Manchester Parks and Recreation Departments about events coming up in the area in March. All that and more on this week's Living.
And stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental has proudly served your auto rental for over 30 years. Check out this huge selection to choose from. Small car, mid-size car, full-size car, crossover vehicle, SUV, minivan, pickup trucks, 12 and 15 passenger vans. Whether big or small, Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental has them all. Stop by our 2 locations to serve you, Tullahoma and in Winchester. And remember, my question is, why rent anywhere else?
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1930 at 77 degrees. The record low was in 1967 at 3 degrees. Average high on this day is 56, and the average low is 33. 50% chance of rain in the forecast for tonight with a low of 42. Showers in the forecast for Wednesday with a high of 43 and a low of 27, and partly cloudy weather expected on Thursday with a high of 43 and a low of 29. And that's our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great evening.